Shalom, everybody. It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. Your eyes do not deceive you. The title is The Absolute Truth. So I got some breaking news, y'all. Some breaking news. So Minnesota just became the first state to legalize all drug paraphernalia. Now, this is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to get into some of the details and some of the semantics of this legalization. I'm telling you right now, man, the demon's about to be running loose. There's a lot going on in the world right now. Also, Black Lives Matter, they're officially going down the road of bankruptcy. And I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but hey, I did tell you so. Initially, when Black Lives Matter started their whole campaign, I knew what they was about. And a lot of people didn't like my rhetoric and the things I had to say about Black Lives Matter, but now come to find out all that money that you didn't put in seems to have been dwindled to no avail, with no resolutions in our community, no growth, no development, none of that. And a lot of people who have sponsored Black Lives Matter should feel real foolish right now for not listening to men of truth. Any organization ran by reprobates, any organization ran by anarchists, that's an organization destined for failure, right? Now, first and foremost, let's talk about the legalization of all drug paraphernalia in Minnesota. All right, so I'm reading right here off my laptop, and this is Duluth, Minnesota. KBJR, great news. Minnesota has become the first state to legalize all drug paraphernalia. This is the first in the nation's provision. And I would say first in the nation's provision, it is the only law that legalizes all forms of drug paraphernalia, said Edward Krumpertrich. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Upper Midwest policy leads with the National Harm Reduction Coalition. Y'all remember when old Shady Joe was putting crack pipes in the hood? And I was talking about how this is going to lead to all manners of evil. And it was only a matter of time before people are going to be walking around zooted out of their minds. And it's going to look like Zombie Land 3.0 out here. So this goes into that harm reduction grant that he, sent crack pipes and all kind of sanitary wipes and all of those things into the hood. So now Minnesota is going to take a further initiative and legalize the drugs, right? But y'all say that a lot of people out there say it ain't no depopulation agenda. But anyway, allow me to proceed. It goes on to say, it says it also legalizes all drugs contained in that paraphernalia defined as residual drugs. That's what they're going to call it, residual drugs. So listen, since we legalized the crack pipes, the syringes, and everything else, if we happen to find, these drugs on your persons or in your home, let's say hypothetically neighbors call the cops because they smell dope in the air. And, you have small children in the environment and there's some concerned neighbors because, hey, I think my next door neighbor is smoking crack cocaine. And I'm concerned because there's small children over there. You call the law comes over, they check it out, they find syringes, the actual evidence of not only crack, but heroin. And they found the residual or the residue of it. It's perfectly legal. It's perfectly fine. We gave you the crack pipe, so, hey, do what you do, right? Do what thou wilt. That seems to be the whole of the law coming to this country right here. It's going to start looking like the purge real soon because when people get on drugs, When people are doing drugs, anarchy breaks free because that's demon possession, for the record. And if you can imagine, it's a lot of people here in the States that are already being pushed to the edge because of this economic revolution we're experiencing, because of the high prices on everything, and the lack of jobs and the lost wages that's taking place. On top of that, the only thing stopping people from actually doing drugs is the fact that they're illegal, right? Not anymore, not in Minnesota. It goes on to say the public safety bill, and they're calling this public safety. Remember, the scriptures say anytime they say safety, you better run and hide because war is coming. The public safety bill signed by the governor, Tim Walz, Friday, who legalized all forms of drug testing, allows syringe services providers to dispense sterile needles and remove caps on the number of syringes pharmacists can sell people without a prescription. Harm reduction experts call the monumental law a new frontier on the war of drugs, on the war on drugs. So, are we living in an alternative universe here where the war on drugs seems to be get the people high? I remember back in the 80s, crack was whack. I remember back in the 80s, you had school programs where people would come through and teach the children, hey, drugs are bad. It'll break your body down, break your system down. Matter of fact, here, we're going to take this pan, right? Crack an egg. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Crack the egg, fry the egg, right? Y'all remember that. Now I know more, ladies and gentlemen. And these high schools, like I told y'all, they're going to be giving these kids paraphernalia. They're going to be giving them smoker pipes, vape pens, syringes, all of that. So now, I guess, in the name of the war on drugs, they're now pushing to do the drugs. Just make it cleaner for them, right? Let's just make sure they don't have to, search the streets and scour the block to get their crack pipes. We're going to deliver that for you, right? It goes on to say, harm reduction experts call the monumental law a new frontier on the war on drugs. Then they have somebody saying they've contracted HIV from the use of a syringe. Well, actually, this is the same person who helped pass the law, I believe. His name is Krumpovich said. So he claims that he got HIV by using a syringe. Goes on to say, I've been using methamphetamine since the age of 19. I was a high school history teacher. After his experience with dirty syringes, Krumpovich, who is now sober, turned to public policy, joined a harm reduction coalition to support the new legislation. This new legislation to send a new message of recovery and prevention. We have a large rise in infectious diseases, he said. Duluth, for example, had an HIV outbreak. Well, instead of getting people to get off the drugs, creating centers, spending that same millions of dollars that they use to actually get the paraphernalia distributed, instead of opening up actual detox centers, this is what they decided to do to stop the spread of disease. Listen, are we in some type of time continuum stage where logic is gone? When the Bible says the Most High have blinded the face of the judges and this world was given into the hands of the wicked, oh man, they have to be blind. They have to be. Now I'm going to play the news brief so you can hear it for yourself. And this is coming from NBC. Listen up.
Man helped to lead the charge this session to make Minnesota the first state to ever legalize drug paraphernalia.
This is a first-in-the-nation provision, and when I say first-in-the-nation provision, it is the only law that legalizes all forms of drug paraphernalia. It legalizes all drugs contained in that paraphernalia as defined as residuous drugs.
That's Edward Krumpovich of Grand Rapids, who pushed to make syringes and any small doses of drugs found inside legal in Minnesota. Part of the public safety bill signed by the governor Friday. As Northern News Now's Cara Kopp explains, harm reduction organizations are calling it a monumental provision.
A law in a new frontier of the war on drugs.
I contracted HIV from a used syringe. I've been using methamphetamine since the age of 19. I was a high school history teacher, and I got this scar on the streets of Minneapolis.
After his experience with 30 syringes, now sober Edward Krumpetich turned to public policy, forming a harm reduction coalition in support of this new legislation, sending a new message, one of recovery and prevention.
We have a large rise in infectious diseases. Duluth, for example, had a HIV outbreak.
A primary factor, sharing syringes during injection drug use.
Really, it started showing up again in 2019. It is not a huge number, but even just in the past year, it's gone up about 20. And I think the main concern is if you're the ones you are seeing, there's a whole bunch of people you're not seeing.
An outbreak Duluth's Harm Reduction Sisters is all too familiar with.
We take in over 20,000 used syringes in a month, but we still have people that are afraid or leery to bring them to us because of the residue in the syringes.
Northland harm reduction programs understand the concerns some have, but say it's time to face reality. People are dying and a change needed to be made. According to the CDC, syringe service programs lower infectious diseases by 50%.
If you visit a syringe service program, you are 5 times, for the CDC, 5 times more likely to enter drug treatment. That is incontrovertible.
Krumpetich saying old policies kept people in the shadows, enabling drug use by not allowing providers access to them.
As somebody who has used substances for a long time, that may not have happened if I had access to a syringe service provider.
Advocates say this might be the first real step in facing Minnesota's opioid crisis. In Duluth, Cara Kopp, Northern News Now.
And that new law goes into effect August 1st.
Wow, 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 wow. August 1st, there you have it. Minnesota is the first state to legalize all drug use. And this is the product of old Sleepy Damn Joe. I mean, man, in just a few short years, this man has been on a complete tear. It's been a reign of damn terror. I mean, when people was warning you brothers and sisters about Biden crime laws and what he's done in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and all of the damage that he's caused in communities, nobody wanted to hear that out. Because for some odd reason, people are just lost and they keep falling for the same old tricks. Right now, there's a media proxy going on with this whole reparations talking point. Let's make this perfectly clear. We deserve reparations. We deserve reparations. Don't make no mistake about it. Matter of fact, when you think back on Black Wall Street, and any time our people tried to establish something on our own, we were completely destroyed. Matter of fact, after we were freed from slavery, we were actually building up our own communities. We were acquiring wealth. The black community was gaining wealth, but people like the KKK and various other organizations, they wasn't having that, right? So what they do, they go burn down, kill, destroy. In Black Wall Street in particular, they burnt down the houses of the people. Some of them were in it, some of them made it out of there, but all of their possessions were burned inside the houses. They lost debit cards, they lost everything. And when it was time to go recoup what was owed to them, the bankers told all the black people no. They told the black folks, no, we're not giving that back. So reparations are due. But guess what? This satanic Babylonian system will never atone for their sins. But the fact that the Democrats is coming out trying to play on that emotions, trying to sell us a dream, trying to act like they're going to atone, making that a talking point, that is the ultimate form of disrespect. They know damn well they're not going to give you Negroes no type of reparations. They're going to give you crack pipes. If they wanted to give you reparations, instead of going in various inner cities and supplying them with crack pipes, they would have been giving us reparations. Those millions of dollars they used to fund that whole campaign, it would have been going back to the people. But you're going to keep on going out here, casting your votes, being foolish, following behind organizations like Black Lives Matter, and you're going to keep being idiots and numbskulls and wonder why we don't have freedom, wonder why we in the position we in right now. I'm telling you right now, I can understand why Joe Biden would do this to our community, all of our communities, the nation, because his son obviously has a habit. Caught out on the laptop, this man laying down with crack pipes burning his lips. All kind of paraphernalia on that boy's laptop. We talking about the son of the president. So it's no wonder why Joe Biden would pass such a law, because he on get back mode. Nobody wants a crackhead for a son. Who wants a crackhead for a son? So what he's doing, instead of detoxing his son and taking accountability for his lack of fatherhood and leadership and guidance, instead of dealing with that, he want to basically destroy the whole damn United States. I want y'all people to really imagine what it's going to look like in Minnesota, in the inner city, because you already know that they're going to rope off certain areas where this is not even going to be an issue. But imagine what the inner cities are going to look like in Minnesota 3 years from now, 2 years from now. My question for the up and coming election, the real question would be, I don't care who's elected. If it is a Republican, the question would be, are you going to reverse some of these just outright demonic laws that's been passed? Are you going to reverse some of these laws, like the harm reduction grant? That's the question. These are the questions that our community should really be asking, because this is going to have a direct effect on our community. This is the questions that we should be asking as people when it comes down to it. Whatever presidential candidate you get in, the real tough question should be, what are you going to do for Black America? And are we going to do better in actually reconciling our community from the crack era? Because there's still damage done from that era. This is crazy, right? Somebody say, who's going to supply the drugs and distribute them legally? That is a real good question. And so that's a really good question somebody just asked. If the drugs are legal, by that logic, should drug dealing be legal? You see, these are some of the questions we got to ask. Has drug dealing now became legal in Minnesota? I can assure you it's not legal. So they're going to have a problem with people getting rich, but they're not going to have a problem with people killing themselves. This is the issue that you're going to be looking at, because notice in the wording it says the residual drugs being found, meaning if you get pulled over and you got a crack pipe and you were smoking said crack, here would be the question: would the person go to jail for being intoxicated? If it's legal, you see how crazy this society is, y'all. This is insane. Would they be incarcerated for being intoxicated if they get pulled over? Since the drug and the residual drugs that's in the crack pipe that was supplied by the government, since it's legal, it's driving reckless under the influence of crack cocaine. Is that legal? I mean, where do we draw the line? How many vehicular homicides are we going to see with people driving on crack? Because it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang in America, right? Somebody said, yeah. Somebody said there's going to be a lot of selfless crimes. Yeah, man, it's going to be crazy. Right, so this is something else, right? And all while this is taking place, Black Lives Matter. Mind you, Black Lives Matter is an organization that our community funded. We're talking about trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. And you know what? You did this. You funded no Marxists. Actually, they said it themselves. They're self-proclaimed Marxists. This is what they say. You know what a Marxist is? An anarchist. Order out of chaos. You funded a communist organization. You funded some commies. That's what the black community did, because a few lesbians with dad jeans threw up a black fist and a hashtag online, and that was enough. That was enough for y'all. And you wonder why I say the things I say about the black community. You wonder why I have so much visceral, because no matter what takes place, no matter what rolls out, what's brung to the public, no matter how much exposure takes place, you idiotic people still gonna just follow the trends. You don't look beneath the surface, you don't dig, you don't research, you don't study anything. You just monkey see, monkey damn do. And it's frustrating dealing with our people, because you'll have people that warn them, and because it don't sound right and it don't fit your narrative, you want to push back against people who can actually see what's going on, right? Now, let's play the news. Black Lives Matter here for bankruptcy. They just like Shady Biden, and this is the campaign. This is the group. These are the anarchist communist party that got your president Joe Biden elected. And there go the noise campaigns. Let's play the news.
I don't know who's getting offended by colonials, but clearly there was at least one human, and so let's change everything. Black Lives Matter's national organization at risk of going bankrupt after its finances plunged millions into the red last year. Columnist and author Adam Coleman joins me now. Adam, great to have you here on set. Before we break down the numbers, just how shady are the finances of BLM?
Just as shady as Joe Biden's son in Burisma. I mean, that's looking at the whole situation reminds me of that. They have a PAC. They're transferring money from one account, from one organization to another. Basically, it looks like they're funneling money to either their family members to possibly get it themselves, but the entire situation looks incredibly shady.
And you have broken down the numbers to the penny. We're going to do a little bit more broad strokes here, but let's take a look. Total revenue, basically $8.5 million. Total expenses, $17 million. That is not good when you do the math, and let's do that math, and you can see the total deficit that they're running is about $8.5 million. And on top of that, they had investment losses of about $10 million as well. So how did it get this bad if for years, Adam, they've been on the receiving end of all this white guilt money, all of this corporate money, and in the year after George Floyd, they received $90 million.
Damn.
How did it get this bad in the red?
Just like any other organization where it gets this bad, they never had a plan. I think truly Black Lives Matter had no concept of having this much influx of money coming into them.
Hey, let me stop this real quick. Y'all looking for y'all reparations? That was your reparations right there. Black America. That was your reparations. That was enough money to free all of us. Squandered. Some would be like, well, what happened to all the money? Can anybody say sex parties? Can anybody say freakism, freak parties? Can anybody say, Pizzagate 2.0? Yeah, because y'all be thinking that, children don't be involved. But hey, I'm just going to call it what it is. And this is all alleged. I just asked y'all, can you say it? When Candace Owens was talking about the sex parties and she was bringing out receipts to show you that they had all kind of ninjas dressed in, wearing dresses, popping up at these parties, all kind of escort services. When she was bringing out the actual receipts, nobody wanted to listen. Why? I don't like Candace Owens. I don't like what she stands for. But you ignore all them receipts. You ignore all them receipts. Right. Anyway, let us continue. Let's talk more about this deficit.
If you look at the previous tax year, before 2020, they had $0. So they went from 0 to 90 million. And for most people, if you win the lottery, a lot of people don't know how to handle that. So just using the best case scenario that they're not trying to be sleazy, but that they just completely mismanage it. So none of this surprises me.
I mean, just put the investment money in an index fund. You're not going to lose $10 million. I mean, you may not have crushed it like you're going into a VC or private equity, but you're not going to lose $10 million. To your point, though, Are they giving this money to family members to sort of funnel it to them and sort of be like, hey, we're hiring them as employees?
Hell no.
One example, apparently, of that is Patrice Culler's brother. And let's pop that up on the screen. Paul Culler's financial records. $1.6 million given to his security company, and then he received a yearly salary of $126,000 as head of security. Maybe it's me, but Adam, that seems like a lot of security to me.
Yes, that's a lot of security. I mean, she always says that she's under a lot of danger, and, you know, I guess security to her is extremely valuable to pay this much money. I mean, this is the shady part that we're talking about. I think the rest of it...
Well, she would need a lot of security because she just totally betrayed the black community. I mean, she literally moved to a ritzy conclave in the hills of Los Angeles after running away with y'all's money. She ran away with the plug twice. So, I mean, Patrice Cullors and Black Lives Matter, you know, the whole black community should be extremely upset with what she did. Now, do I think that she spent all of that on security for the brother? I doubt it. You know, who knows what kind of sexual proclivities they into. We are dealing with reprobates here. We are dealing with people who more than likely practitioners of the craft as well. So, you know, you just never know. And this is what happens when you just blindly devote your money into things that you don't even understand. And it's time that melanated people moving forward, it's time that you start opening your eyes. Now, I'm not here to push any right-wing rhetoric because I don't care for politics at all. I don't deal with Democrat nor Republican. I don't care for it. None of it matters to me. But it's about time that you start putting matters into your own hands and building up your own people and choosing your own leadership. And not letting these George Soros, synagogue of Satan, demonic Jezebelic witches take over and run things. First of all, in order to build up a nation, you're going to need men to do that. And you can say, New Breed, you're misogynist, that's sexist, that's this, that's then the third. Listen, men built this country, and it is what it is. If you're a woman that watch New Breed Global Truth, let me make this perfectly clear. Don't come over here with your closet feminist talking points. You're in the wrong damn place. You're in the wrong place. You come over here with the utmost respect. You come over here being a woman. You come over here showing femininity. You don't question authority over here. I will block you in a heartbeat. You're not welcome here. You're going to sit down. You're going to listen. You're not going to come over here trying to teach me a damn thing. You're not going to post in my comment section trying to teach me something. That is not going to happen. You're going to sit your ass down and you're going to listen and you're going to learn and you're going to be respectful. That's just what it is over here. Nothing more, nothing less. But anyway, I just thought I'd let that be known for all the new people who want to come over here and they have the residue of feminism in the Western world. We not moving like that. Anyway, let's go. And also, I want to say this. If you ain't got not nice to say, keep quiet. Yeah, keep yourself quiet. And half of y'all women, y'all don't need to say anything. Matter of fact, you should be in the kitchen somewhere. Anyway, let us continue. Here we go. Hold on real quick. Let's get this. My screen went out. Hold up. Let's talk about BLM. Let's get it. All right, come on now.
Like, what did they actually do with the money? They gave it to leftist organizations that had nothing really to do with black people, to benefit black people, more so to benefit the LGBT community, which maybe there's a small sliver of black people who are affected by it, but there's no checks and balances to it. It just seemed haphazard. They have really no idea what they're doing, and it shows. So that's why it looks like they're slowly going under.
That is the overall point. What did Black America get from this? Like, what did they receive in terms of benefit?
Even their smaller organizations receive nothing from it. You know, their local Black Lives Matter chapters, right, they always complain about where are the resources, how do we manage this, and basically, so no one benefit from it except for the people at the very top.
For me,
so let me get this right. Black America gave So let's get this right. Black America gave nearly $1 trillion to Black Lives Matter to a bunch of women who did not know what to do with the funds. They were like people who just hit the lottery. That's who they just compared them to on the news. People who don't have no direction whatsoever. Only thing they could do is live it up. They was turned up. I'm telling you, it was all kind of sex paraphernalia laying around those ritzy conclaves and those mansions. It was all kind of filth and debauchery. There was all kind of escort services. All of this is documented. That's what was going on in the hills. This is what went on with your money. Why? Because you're not choosing your leadership. Let me tell you something. With our community, you have to go with trusted sources. And you know, this is the irony of everything. The people who have been entrusted with the community and the people who actually delivered any and every time, they require integrity. Those are the people that you don't support. You don't support those people. The people who actually are integral, like myself. Not to just throw myself out there, but I've been nothing short of integral with everything I've done and how I moved. But I don't have millions of dollars being donated to me. And Lord knows what I would do with it. And I'm just using that as an example. We talking about millions of, do you know, listen, it was at least $100 million that's unaccounted for according to this news brief. Do you know how much land you can purchase with that? Do you know how many hospitals can be built with that? Do you know how many schools can be built with that? Do you know how many families can get fed? Do you know how many of our people can be taken care of in distant lands? Because you know we've been spread abroad through the transatlantic slave trade all over the planet. Do you know how many of our people are in dire need that could have got some support out of Black Lives Matter? If Black Lives Matter, why they didn't take care of no black people? Yo, the black community, you should be highly disappointed in yourselves. You're the ones who supported them. You're the ones who done the damage. It's your fault because you're dumb. You're stupid. You don't have an ounce of common sense. You don't research nothing. You believe everything the media tells you. You are brain dead drones. And it is what it is. You don't want to peel the book open. You don't want to peel the Bible open and understand who you are. You don't want to turn from your wicked ways. You don't want to repent. You don't want to seek wisdom, because wisdom would have made sure that you didn't donate to them people. Wisdom would have ensured that you didn't trust behind them. And I've been screaming this from the rooftop since the inception of Black Lives Matter. But every time the righteous are speaking truth, we crazy. Something wrong with us. Because we got to carry the burden of knowing. And then we got to also keep our egos in check, because we don't want to come off just all the way wrong. But listen, at some point, we lose patience. We lose patience with you black folks. When people are warning you, telling you, listen, don't support that. If you're going to support anything, support your men. Ladies, support your husbands. Support the men of your nation. Because ain't nothing going to be right until you start supporting the men. You know who funded Black Lives Matter? Black women. Black women funded Black Lives Matter. Now look. Now look. But if you would have been funding the men of Yah, guess what? The utopia would already been here. But this is how it goes. We're talking about, hold on, 8 million. Wow. 8,559,748. That's the deficit. That's the accounted deficit. And that's just in 2021. That's just in 2021. Let's continue.
The most telling thing was when Breonna Taylor's family came out and said, we've gotten absolutely nothing. And that was a case that BLM used to fundraise, and those individuals got nothing. Adam, this is a really fascinating insight into the grift that is known as BLM. Looks like it could be coming to an end. We appreciate your time and insight.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
What y'all gonna do about it? What y'all gonna do about it? Yeah, let me grab this. Let me talk to y'all. I want y'all to come here for a minute. For real. For real. Listen to me carefully here. Let me see. Let me read some of these comments. We got to understand what's taking place in the world right now. And everybody pound the like button. Let's get it, man. Let me see. I see some comments being held for review. Somebody said, I'm so happy I never ran to support them. That's what's up. Somebody said, love you, brother, new breed, peace and God blessings. Thank you, thank you. Somebody said, use them people family and ain't gave them nothing. So wrong. Man, listen. When Breonna Taylor's family stood on that stage and said, listen, we haven't received anything from Black Lives Matter, that should have told you everything you needed to know. I mean, y'all didn't give them people nothing. I mean, the greed is real. The lack of respect for the actual victims is real. And then if y'all peep the news broadcast, it said they got 90 million off of George Floyd's death, off of death of a black man. And that's the only family that got anything, and that family only got something through suing the police department. They didn't get nothing from Black Lives Matter. They got that from suing the police department, which I personally believe that the George Floyd death was a Freemasonic ritual. That's my personal beliefs, and I think the family got paid out. That's what was supposed to happen. But nonetheless, with all this money they made, they didn't even respect the family enough to give them anything. We talking about greed on an unprecedented level, bro. For real. Somebody says, bind the strong man, cast out the possessions, a castle out of a front door of faithless children. Exactly. And then the Bible also says that silly women will be led captive. Silly women will be led captive by these witches, warlocks, sorcerers, false prophets, fake prophets, Jezebels, demons, and that's what's happening. Y'all was led captive when y'all was donating, supporting, screaming Black Lives Matter. Listen, all lives matter. White lives matter. Black lives matter. Chinese lives matter. All lives matter. God made us all, right? It was disrespect in itself to isolate you. See, y'all don't even understand the practices to marginalize you. When they say things like Black Lives Matter, that's a tactic used to marginalize you, to make you somehow different than everybody else when we all matter, right? I'm not with the liberal black-white paradigm. This is about good versus evil. King Connect, thank you for the $10 contribution, says, it's asinine how our people support vanity and dysfunction instead of those who truly care for the people. It is. It is. And because our people have this misappropriated support, we're now going to be seeing Minnesota turn into a Thriller video. The community going to look like a Thriller video. It's like they're trying to recreate the crack era all over again. They want us to walk out our doors and see Night of the Living Dead, where people are selling their children for stamps, because that's how bad it was. They were selling their babies, leaving their babies with pimps. They were trafficking their children, leaving their children with people to groom them just for the next hit. That's how bad it was. They want to recreate that. We talking about, listen, they wanted to look like the Purge out here. Drugs is demon possession. When you are inebriated, when you are out of your mind, your pineal gland is open for demon possession. Their spirits operating in you. They want everybody to be at an altered state of mind. You know why? Because they don't want you to see what's coming. They don't want you to see what's coming. They want you to be living dead. This country don't love you. Somebody said nothing is straight up right now. It's like no one is seeing what's going on outside, right? Somebody said, yeah, it's going to get much worse, right? I mean, this is a spiritual warfare. We battle not against flesh and blood, but wickedness and principalities in high places. Listen, you gotta know this, right? I said this a couple streams ago, that they have been releasing a lot of demons from hell, man. This is why they getting all this technology. When you're seeing all these technological advances, this is similar to the days of Noah. These people are working with portals and everything right now. This is like Stargate right now. Some of the things that they're able to do at the moment. But while they're releasing these spirits and releasing these demons to gain access to the technology, there is a lot of malevolent forces that's roaming this playing field right here. And they need hosts. What's the best way to get them hosts? Allow people's pineal gland to open up. Let's make it legal. These demons need hosts. You gotta understand, they are dealing with high sorcery. Your presidents and all of the above, they answer to certain entities and forces. They're letting these people know, listen, you gotta legalize drugs in certain places. This is what they're being told by the witch doctor. What they call spiritual advisors. They're saying, look, you gotta legalize this, because the spirits that are roaming, the spirits, the fallen angels that have been relegated to these bodies, these terrestrial bodies, or celestial bodies. They need terrestrial bodies. They need to be able to inhabit people, and there's not enough people doing drugs. We need people who feel comfortable with doing them, so those demons get entered. When you get high off something, demons enter your body. Let's make this clear. That's why you got to be careful even with your drinks. You talking about wine and spirits. You got to make sure you're not drinking too much, right? There's ancient spirits that can only come in when your chi energy has been shifted through drugs. I'm telling you right now. So if you battling with any type of addiction, man, your prayer life got to be on point, because there's a lot of lasciviousness taking place where people, they know what they doing is wrong and they want to stop. But what it's going to take is you're going to have to plead to the Most High every step of the way. That's what the government is leaving out. They trying to give you the drug, claiming that that's protecting you somehow. That's some type of safety initiative. But really, the only thing that can get you out of that habit, whether it be marijuana addiction, cocaine, meth, pills, Vicodins, Percocets, all of those, prescription pill, any methamphetamines, any lean or syrup, and any of that. The only way you're going to get through is the Most High, man. Open that book, pray without ceasing, and also find something that is going to actually redirect your energy. Meaning, any bad habit that you have in life, you got to replace it with a good habit. Any bad habit that you have in life, you got to replace it with something good. It takes away the idle time. It keeps you moving. At one point, I had a very, very bad marijuana and alcohol addiction. Very bad. I'm speaking personal, because I'm going to give y'all my testimony. Very bad marijuana and alcohol. And I'm talking about, it was an everyday thing when I let my nuts hang. I drunk and high every day at one point in my life. But I've been delivered from that. And I'm going to tell you how I did it. I replaced my bad habits with good habits. I got away from the people that were influencing that behavior. Got away from those people. Because at the end of the day, repentance is about not going backwards. Living a lifestyle to seek repentance. And I had to cut off all old energies. Like people who was doing that, if they wasn't trying to stop, then how would I look like being around them? They're going to trigger it. It was so bad for me. Some of the people that I really had near and dear to my heart, and I just wanted to be around it. For a while, I was just around it. I wasn't doing it, but since I can roll a perfect blunt, I rolled a perfect blunt. I wanted to be around it. Listen, just let me roll up. Y'all smoke, but I want to hang with them so bad. Because, these are my friends. I grew up with these people. I want to hang with them so bad. I'll roll it up. Y'all smoke. We going to talk and kick it. But then the temptations kick in. So I had to get away. So what I'm saying is, man, you got to You got to pray, and you got to detach from a lot of people that you were once around who are doing the same thing, or they're going to trigger that temptation in you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said getting out ain't so easy. Sounds power around you, have to let go. Yeah, I mean, you got it in you. Somebody said LOL, we has nothing in it, makes you addicted. Follow God and the science. Well, listen, marijuana has its uses on the planet. I say this all the time. There's certain people who deal with glaucoma, they deal with cataracts, they deal with pains in their body, they deal with various things. But you got to ask yourself, why do we get high? When all of the components that's in cannabis or hemp can actually relieve you of those various diseases and ailments without you getting high. What makes you want to get high and alter your mind when cannabis and various oils carry the exact same components that the plant has? You're making excuses at the end of the day. And I'm not saying this to condemn you, but you just got to know that truth is that stuff is not good for you. When you add THC, that changes the compounds. It changes what it is. It's a different element at that point. Anything that you smoke can be harmful for the lungs as well. A lot of people don't realize that marijuana is one of the leading causes of Alzheimer's disease. Why? Because it's fragmenting your mind. It's changing your mind. And it is what it is. If that's what you want to do, you're going to do it. People going to do what they want to do. I'm just giving you the truth and giving you the science. Since you're a scientist. Since you're a scientist out here. Somebody said nothing is meant to be smoked. The process of smoking is sorcery. Exactly. I agree on that. Somebody said, I used THC for almost 20 years and Jesus set me free 2 months ago. Not one smoke or craving since. See, all praises to the Almighty. See, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. But see, in this demonic society, they're going to be pushing this on people. You know how much of the youth is going to really be getting these vape pens and crack pipes and all of that, man? It's sad. Princess Love, thank you for the 20, says, in need of prayer from a great man of Yah. It says, it's for my son. He got involved with a woman and triggered the mindset of he's a good brother, he needs Yeshua. I'm not sure what mindset she triggered. But, you know, I don't know the circumstances exactly, but I do appreciate the support. And it's good that you're seeking prayer, because you got many people out here, including myself, that can relate to, you know, people being led astray by the wrong type of woman. So, you know, I'm pretty sure somebody will put prayers up for you. Somebody said, be sober and be vigilant. Absolutely. Yep, that part too is estrogen all in the weed. They got the chemical compound known as astracene that turns male frogs into female frogs. It's just no good. We need to be aware, alert, and awake right now more than ever. The demons can't deal with us sober. Let me break this down to you. With our people getting high, because everybody on something in America. I don't know. I mean, I know there's people globally watching. Let me make this clear for all my global subscribers. Everybody in America is on some type of drug. Everybody's on something, a pill, a drink, something. Everybody's walking around here high. And still, you got a lot of our people, a lot of people from the diaspora who are in, especially in the inner cities, and they still doing great things in life. There's a lot of functioning addicts. It didn't got to the point in America, there's been an evolution that took place where there's a bunch of functioning addicts everywhere. But imagine what you can do if you're not high. Imagine what you can do if you wasn't getting high. Them demons and devils, witches and warlocks, can't nobody do nothing to you. There is nothing that is altering your mind. There is nothing that's stopping you from thinking clearly. Don't you know the devil fears that? This is why this harm reduction grant was put out. This is why Minnesota has officially legalized all drug paraphernalia. Do you know that this should be breaking news worldwide? Everybody's supposed to be talking about this right now. Do you understand how big of a deal this is? Even the news said it was monumental. Yes, it's monumental. This is huge news. Do you know what that means moving forward for the country? Because this is going to continue to go on. And the way politics work, they'll give you a false sense of security, a false sense of hope. You thinking that the next candidate is going to come in and we're not going to have to deal with certain things. Yes, it's very true. You won't have to deal with certain things. But the goal at hand from the Satanists, the Luciferians, those who want to implement a new world order, the goal is the same. The things that they put in place, the things that you're not paying attention to because you're distracted by celebrity gossip, you're distracted by these witches and warlocks who are so-called spiritual gurus, you're distracted by all the nonsense, the beef and the internet gossip. Since you was distracted by that, and you're not paying attention to the laws that's being passed, and you're only looking at things surface level. Then when they put the next candidate in office, you didn't miss the fact, all the damage that was really done. Oh man, we got Donald Trump back in office. Oh, we're gonna make more money. Commerce and business is gonna flourish. Oh, gas prices may drop. But damn it, your whole community on crack. The damage already been done. They're not gonna reverse all that. This is how it works. The left side pushes, the right side pushes back. They give in a little bit, and then they meet somewhere down the middle. That's how this goes. Just like with gay marriage. At first, the Republicans, they had a whole lot of pushback. Nah, we ain't gonna do this. Nah, God said that's holy matrimony. This ain't in the scriptures. But then what happened? The liberals kept pushing, and then the Republicans said, oh, okay, it ain't not wrong. Let's let them get married. Why not? Now look at what you got. Drag queens dancing for kids. Now look what you got going on. You see how this works? You see how a Hegelian dialect works? They've been playing this game with y'all for decades now. And it's like, damn, y'all that dumb? Y'all don't see what they doing? You still caught up in the news media, Democrat, Republican, Fox, CNN. Oh, this candidate, it's a game. It's a game. I know why I've been chosen for a lot of things. I know why I've experienced a lot of targeted in my life, because I can see the game. I see the game. I see the manipulations. This is like damn Minecraft. And even, listen, the scripture says if they can fool the very elect, they will fool the very elect. And I'm not saying that a politician can't be used. I'm not saying that the Most High he used a donkey, he used a jackass one time. I'm not saying that certain laws and things that get passed, the Most High, that's in our favor, like Roe versus Wade, needed to be overturned. Roe v. Wade needed to be overturned. Because now a lot of the modern women got to be held accountable for being serial killers, for terminating your pregnancies. There's a lot of women out here that got, hundreds of damn abortions. You look at a pretty woman like Ashanti, the singer, 43 years old, never been married, no kids. And she talked about how she got abortions in the past. But this is what goes on in our community. And then want to scream Black Lives Matter. You want to scream Black Lives Matter when the #1 killer of black people is abortion. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. Yeah, they serial killers. It's exactly what they are. It's exactly what they are. Let me see, what is these messages being reviewed? Let me see what these people are saying, because I'm seeing a lot of that. And they won't even let me highlight it to see what's going on. Let me see. Man, don't be cussing in my damn chat. How many of y'all don't know that by now? If you use profanity in my chat, you will be blocked. So watch your damn mouth on my platform. You guys come over here talking reckless. Show some respect for the channel. What's wrong with y'all? Yeah, man, you know. Yeah, my moderators is not playing no games. Don't come over here being disrespectful. My moderators is not having that. When you come into a person's channel, you basically in their house. You don't come over to somebody's house just talking crazy. When you know you dealing with a channel and a platform that's Bible based. You go take that over there to Pookie and Ray Ray channel. You go take that to these half-wit scatterbrain YouTubers. Don't come over here talking crazy in my chat. I'm not tolerating no disrespect from you Negroes. I'm telling you, man, this world is something else, bro. I know I went into a whole rant, but drugs are legal in Minnesota, y'all. And Black Lives Matter just squandered your reparations. Black Lives Matter just squandered years of progress that could have took place. And the crazy part is the next campaign they roll out, and I'm talking about the news media, the next campaign they roll out, you Negroes is going to follow behind it because you don't listen to sound doctrine and sound wisdom. Now, if this woke some of you up and getting you out of the sunken place and then shook you up from the foundation, hey, continue watching the channel. Continue learning. Continue growing and developing. But it's time that we start coming together, unifying, right? And I had let me say this one thing too. I had a person come in the chat, and I'm gonna just show you how our people don't listen. Oh man, our people frustrate me sometimes. In my last video, I said something to the effect of, if something happens, I'm gonna be good to go. I'm gonna have fresh fruit, well water, or what have you. So I gain nothing by telling y'all to join in and plug in with us so you can have the very same thing. Because I'm going to be straight. So why somebody heard that comment, just to show you the idiocy, I got a vent today. Got into the chat, got into the comment section, and this woman actually said, this is why I tell y'all women, just be quiet, don't say nothing. If you don't understand context, don't say nothing. She goes on to say, so everybody who got a love note, and everybody who participated in joining this or joining that, you mean we gonna be out of luck? Ma'am, is that what you heard? Now that I'm addressing you directly, because I read that comment, I couldn't believe that's what you heard come out of my mouth. That's what you heard. How? Like what do y'all be on? So are you saying, she said, so you saying we just merchandise and we just out of luck? Ma'am, that's what you heard? Listen, let's make this clear. Anybody who donates to newbreed.love and receives a love note, you are in our network. Meaning if there's an emergency that takes place in the town near you or where you're located, we can offer some form of relief. We have your number, we have your email, we have all that. How many times have I said that? I don't understand what our people be hearing or what cognitive dissonance that y'all have. Like, I'm at an awe sometimes. So anybody who gets a love note by donating to newbreed.love, you are in our system. This is how we were able to distribute waters to Ohio after the train derailment. I mean, did you forget about that? Did you forget about what happened? This is how we were able to facilitate that. Why? Because you had love. Those were love note holders. So how does your mind operate to even make you comment something so dumb? Makes no sense. So let's make this clear. I'm gonna say this again. First and foremost, your mind gotta be right when you go get yourself a love note. It can't be, I'm going to get a love note to see what somebody can do for me. The Bible says charity covers the multitudes of sins. You're not purchasing a love note, number one. You're donating to this platform. I took my Cash App off of YouTube so you can donate to a better cause than just going directly into my pockets. When you donate to newbreed.love, it actually helps more people. So I took Cash App off, put newbreed.love on, so when you donate to newbreed.love, I have an actual record of who is donating, meaning I know who these people are. I have a record. It's right there in one central hub. I can actually get a census on who's participating in the building of our nation, who is stimulating the economy of our people. I get to see that firsthand. So when you do that, you are in our network. Now moving forward, as things hit the fan and updates are coming, you will be updated. Just like I told y'all, June 14th, I'm gonna be doing a land walk over there in North Carolina, so you can see the available land that's here in the States. So, I mean, let the men of Yah work. Let us do what we need to do. It's like some of y'all are afraid of us, and we ain't harming you. We ain't doing you no harm. I mean, damn, the whole system is against you, and you mean to tell me you having a hard time trusting a person who have been nothing but integral? You having a hard time trusting a person who's been truthful with you with everything, even when it costs me supporters and subscribers, even when it got me hate mail, even when it got me cast away and isolated and ostracized. I kept it honest with you. How much more you want from me? I mean, damn. You sitting back, you looking for fault, you're looking for flaws, you're paranoid. Your paranoia is in the wrong place. I don't have to do the things I do. I don't have to do it. I do it because I love my people. At the same time, I hate y'all sometimes, bro. For real. It's like I love y'all, but I hate y'all. Y'all dumb as hell, bro. I just don't get it sometimes. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Real talk, bro. It's like, don't come in my comment section talking crazy, bro. Because it's like, you can put your life on the line for your people, and you get nothing to show for it but idiocy. And people trying to prick and prod, and this is why people get on. This is why people get rich, and they leave y'all the hell alone. This is why Black Lives Matter didn't do nothing for y'all. This is why. So love is a two-way street. If I'm gonna be showing y'all love, y'all want people to be down for y'all and be real with me then. You want me to be real with you, be real with me. Don't play with me, I won't play with you. You respect me, I respect you. Can we do that? If I'm gonna be traveling near and far, if I'm gonna be keeping it a buck, making this kind of content that's just raw and real, then keep it real with me. That's all I'm saying. Support what I'm doing. Support your interests. Because I'm telling you, man, your own people will have you out here putting your neck on the line, stretching your neck out, and then when your head get cut off, all they're gonna do is marvel at it. So anyway, man, I went on a whole rant today. It's just crazy what's going on in the world. It's crazy. Listen, support the content, newbreed.love. Join me on Patreon for exclusive content as well. There's a lot of work that goes into what I do, so I appreciate the support. And for everybody who's already got themselves a love note, everybody who's already gotten to our network, listen, get more than one love note, because it ain't just about getting a love note. I know I say get yourself a love note, but get love notes. Get more than one note, because these notes also help you save money, because we have a network of people. We got Mark the Messenger in our network. We got other up and coming content creators who join in the network. Not only can you use the love note, the redeemable code, to get a discount on some of the merch that's on there, but then you can take that same love note, go to Mark the Messenger's love note site, and then whatever he has on the site, you can also use that same code to get a discount on his site. So the love is infinite. This is how you stimulate an economy. And when we bring another recruit on, you can continue to use that love note one time on each site. That's infinite right there. So You didn't donate, let's say hypothetically, you didn't donated $30. You got 3 love notes. Now you out here shopping online in our hub, right? In our exchange hubs. You done spent $30. Now let's say you bought some sunglasses. Let's say you bought a t-shirt. Let's say you bought whatever. You bought some natural soaps and products. And let's say you done saved $10 on each thing, right? And you went to 3 different sites. Guess what? You just saved that same $30. The same $30 you donated, you just got it back. You just saved. You saved money. You shop with your own people and you save money. Can anybody see the relevance of something like that while everything is going digital? While the dollar is collapsing? Can anybody see the market value of having a trading system online that is designated for Israelites and other nations? Anybody who want to contribute and be a part of our network, but it belongs to Israelites. Can you see the footprint that's being laid? If you do, support it. Because it ain't nothing without y'all support. It ain't nothing without you, the people. Everybody should be involved. Right? Anyway, man, I've been preaching, I've been ranting, I've been raving. I love each and every one of y'all. Even sometimes I cuss y'all out. And I say, not cuss y'all, not literally cuss y'all out, but sometimes I be going in. But listen, all praises to the Elohim, the Almighty. I want y'all to be safe out here. Y'all be balanced out here. I love y'all. Shalom and peace.